I made 2 tiny little boxes. Made it the same way as I made this one, except that instead of another heart shape, I made a circle in the middle. The idea was that this was going to be for Franklin's wedding ring, because at work he can't wear his ring on the production floor, so he usually just keeps his ring on his desk. And so I figured that if he had a cute little thing to put his ring in, then it wouldn't get lost. But I made the heart a little bit too small, so that the circle had to be too small, and so they don't really fit the ring. Well, these are my rings, but his is about the same size, if not a little bit bigger. So yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm trying to figure out what to use these for instead of the ring. And I'm debating whether or not to make a slightly bigger box. 'Cause I wanted the box to be smaller, like, well, this size, because I didn't want it to be too big, because I didn't want to take up too much space on his desk. And I mean, this might be a little too girly, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's the cover that I haven't hinged yet, because it was just, I had just set it to dry overnight. So I think I'm going to make one that's just a tad bigger. So I believe this one was, yeah, that was this one. See, the next biggest, it's this one, and that's just too big, isn't it? It is, it's too big. So what am I going to do about that? Okay, so this is what I decided to do. I decided to make another box. It's going to be just a bit bigger. So what I did is that I used my template, and I used the size that I wanted and traced it onto my cardboard, and then I don't know if you can see, yeah, there. I traced around it. I went around it just a little bit so that it's just a little bit bigger, and then just doing that made it so that I could fit the smallest circle template that I have, so that it, yeah, so that it would fit and still have a little bit on the side there to glue. And with that circle, the ring fits much better. So, and it'll be easier to grab it out of there. And so I'm using this as my template to trace. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace and cut 4 with the hole and 2 without. And I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, so there you have it. I have a bottom, 4 sides pieces, and a fancy top. I cut 2 smaller ones for the lid, and it'll, yeah, just to make it fancier. And so I'm just going to glue those together. And yeah, I'm much happier with the results of this box. And it's not as big as it would have been if I had gone to the next one on the template, but it's bigger enough that it yeah, it just works better. And once I've glued these together, I will set them under a heavy thing, probably my tape dispenser, because it's quite heavy. I'll put it under that to dry, and then show you what I do for decoration and such after. So there you go. There's the ring box part. And now for the cover. Simple as that. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that just like this under my tape dispenser and let it dry. I probably should put wax paper between it. Okay, I'm going to put this one with it so that it'll balance, even though that one's dry. There we go. Okay, there you go. So there's that. The hinge here. I still don't know what I'm going to put in here because it's just so small. Maybe just a little cinnamon heart or something. I don't know. So anyway, I really like the idea of this being glued on there. Do I want that to open up too? I decided while I had my gesso out earlier, I decided to paint this box. It's not quite dry yet, but I'm just going to put some of the wax paper so that it doesn't glue itself shut, and I'm going to glue that on there. Oh wow, I'm loving this. I don't mean to brag, but I really am loving this. It's my PPA again. I'll put a generous amount on both. I could have made it hinge so that that opens up too and the inside would have been a photo, but I decided not to. I decided that I prefer it to stay just like this. And once again, I'm going to put that on under something heavy to dry. And this first box that didn't work, I was working on a different project earlier and I had little scraps of material and I like the way that looks, so this one's cover looks like that now. I am going to use mostly the yellowish bits of this napkin to cover this box. And this is white glue with a little bit of water in it. And I had better put some wax paper between the lid and the box so that I don't glue the lid to itself. So it's not glued shut. Well, the glue is sticking to me. I'll be able to trim it later. Would have been easier if I had covered each heart before doing this, but I didn't really know what I was going to be doing. So I didn't do it the easy way. That's kind of neat. The colors of the pizza box are kind of coordinating with the napkin. Anyway, you get the idea. These two boxes are finished, and I did the pin on these as well. And so this is the ring box, and this is the, I don't know what it's going to house box. So yeah, there's those two. Because if I don't pin it like that, then it doesn't stay closed like I want it to. Like it lifts up a little bit. It's not as bad as it was for that. But yeah, still not as good as when I have the pin in. Okay, so I have a piece of artist wire, silver, and I'm going to stick it through here. And make a little hook and stick it back through in there. And I have these two little beads. Okay, the batteries ran out. So, as I was saying, I'm going to sort of there. Just like that.
In case you can't tell because of the camera, that's a little smiley dude, and that's a heart. And now they're kind of anchored in there. And as you can see, I decided to put some more of the label on there. And so this is what we've got.